Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to take a look at how to remove items from a set. And I still do not want you to be confused because I mentioned earlier that the items in the set are unchangeable, and yet we are able to add like we saw in the previous videos. And now we are going to learn about how to remove. And so the question then is, what did it mean for it not to be changeable? Well, I have said that in the previous video, and I'm going to repeat it here again, that it is the items in the set themselves that are not changeable, but the set itself is changeable. So, for example, in the code that you are seeing, I cannot change Ghana into something else, okay? Like originally it is Ghana, USA, Germany on line 1. I cannot change it to Togo, USA, Germany, okay? However, I am able to add Togo to it, or I am able to remove Ghana from it, or I'm able to remove USA from it. So the modification is being done on the set itself and not on the items in the set. That is what it means for it to be unchangeable. So in this video, we are going to learn different ways of removing items from your set. And remember, I have been using strings throughout, but the items in a set are not necessarily supposed to be of the same data type. You can mix up all the data types that you have learned so far as far as you find it fitting for the problem that you're trying to solve. Okay, so at this point, I want us to try to remove, let's say China. So I'll say countries dot remove, and then the items are case sensitive, so I'll spell it exactly as I did, and then I'll print countries again. Now let's see what's going to happen when we run this program. So you can see that initially there was China, and now because I have removed China, it is no longer in the countries set. Okay, let's see what's going to happen if I spelled China wrongly. Let's say, yeah, C and capital H, which is an item that is not in the set. So if I do this, then I get an error. It says key error China. So you can see that Python is being helpful here by telling us that we are trying to remove an item which does not exist, and it tells us which item we are trying to remove and does not exist, and it tells us that is China, and it's probably because of the way we spelled it. Okay, let's use something that didn't exist at all. So let's say Nigeria. So let's say I want to remove Nigeria from the countries and it was never in there. That should result in the same error because we are trying to remove an item that doesn't exist in the set. Okay, so this is what you need to remember about the remove method, that when you try to remove an item that doesn't exist, then there is going to be a key error. However, there is another method called discard. Let's use discard and see what happens. So instead of remove, I'm going to change that to discard over here, and let's see what we will get. So you can see that there is a difference between the remove and the discard, in the sense that if the item you are trying to discard doesn't exist in the set, the discard method does not throw an error. It fails silently. So over here, we tried to remove Nigeria and there was no Nigeria in the set. However, the method did not throw an error. It did not tell us key error. So this is a silent failure which can be subtle for you to find out if for some reason your program is not working as expected. And so you need to know when to use the remove or the discard method depending on your use case. Okay, now the next method I want us to take a look at is the pop. And whenever you are using the pop, it is similar to how we use it on the tuple and the list. Remember that when you pop, it is going to return the last item of the collection and also remove it from the collection. Okay, but when you are using the pop operation or the method with sets, you want to be very careful because the set is unordered, so you are never sure what value you are getting by invoking the pop method. You never know which item is the last item in a set, and so you don't want to develop a habit of using the pop to remove items from a set unless you know exactly what you are doing. So I'm going to come here and I can say last country is equal to countries.pop. So this is going to practically remove the last country name from the countries set, which there is no guarantee. We actually do not know what country it is. I mean, the fact that on line 4 Belgium is last doesn't mean Belgium is indeed last in the memory where this set is stored. Okay, remember that it is unordered. So I'm going to print out the last country. So I'm going to use fprint here. So I'll say last country, and I'm going to put in last country here. So last country, and then after that we are going to print the countries set again. Now let's see what we have in there. So you can see that the last country was China. And I mean, if you look at the previous print statement before the pop, you can see that China was indeed the first thing that we saw as far as printing it out is concerned. But you can see that when we called pop, it's China that got removed, which means China is actually the last name stored in the memory location where this set has been, demarcated to be stored. And so you can never trust the pop method on a set unless you deliberately and obviously know what you are doing. You want to stay away from using the pop, okay? And like for other collection data types, there is also the method clear, which pretty much clears all the items from the set, and so it becomes empty. And so we get the opportunity to see how an empty list, an empty set looks like. So I'm going to say countries.clear, and now I'm going to print countries. So let's run this program again. And you can see that this is how an empty set looks like in Python. And indeed, it was made up of Belgium, Germany, Togo, USA, India, Ghana, Kuwait, China. And then we cleared it. And so now it is an empty list. So thank you very much for watching this. Let's take a quick break and I will see you in the next video where we talk about how to join multiple sets.